Dr. Hurley, our good friend, is trying to engrave avocados, which I'm just like not excited about, and we'll go on record with that. He thinks he can laser etch the UPC codes on avocados, and that's very cool, but I don't want guacamole in my brand new laser, so we'll see how that goes.
Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of SNEED-CAST. I'm your host Alexa, and today we're actually joined by a reoccurring guest. So hello Haley, thank you so much for joining us on SNEED-CAST again.
Hi Alexa, I'm thrilled to be back. Thanks for having me.
Of course. And for anyone that missed the episode last time, can you just talk a little bit about yourself? Give us a little intro.
Sure. My name's Haley Appleby. I am faculty at Clemson University in the Department of Food, Nutrition, and Packaging Sciences. I am a packaging science lecturer, so I teach a bunch of our undergraduate core curriculum courses in packaging design and graphics. In addition to being a lecturer, I also am co-director of our Sonoco Institute of Packaging Design and Graphics, which is a unique hub on campus where it really brings together the programs of packaging science and graphic communications, which are in totally separate colleges at our university, which is kind of crazy because we all know in industry they work hand in hand. So this facility really brings both programs under one roof, working together, research, teaching, service. So it's a very special space. So thrilled to be a part of that.
Right. And now that you're back on the show, can you talk to us a little bit about some of the projects that you've been working on lately? What's something that has you excited, pumped?
This fall, we are smack in the middle, quite literally in the middle of our sustainability leadership program, which is something that launched last fall. It's really cool. We have a cohort of 26 students, and they span undergraduate, graduate, and PhD candidates that apply to be a part of this program. And so these students get accepted into this program, and it is 5 dinner programs across the fall semester where we bring in top industry collaborators in the sustainability space. So directors of sustainability, VPs, high level industry performers that are doing amazing things in sustainability to mentor these students. So the goal is these are all students that are, pursuing career paths in sustainability. And so we need to be equipping them with tangible skills that will make them leaders when they graduate. And so this program is really geared towards that. And so we open this program every session with a networking kind of a 20-minute networking time for the students to speak with some of these leaders, and then we move into a panel discussion. So we do an hour-long panel, kind of deep diving into each one of these professionals, how they got to their roles now, what they're involved in their companies, how their companies are tackling the really broad conversation of sustainability and what does it look like to each of their companies. And then afterwards, we do a sit-down formal dinner with these professionals and give the students an opportunity to have some additional one-on-one conversation. And it has been really powerful. I was not a part of this last fall. I've kind of taken this over this fall, and have been really impressed with the students and their involvement, as well as the speakers that we've had. It's been a really exciting program, and I'm looking forward to seeing kind of how that goes. So we've just wrapped up our second session. We had Dr. Andrew Hurley actually come in for that session to teach students how to craft kind of their 30-second elevator pitch on themselves. So when they are networking, because the fall at Clemson University is just really, really busy. And so next week we actually are diving into our career fair. A lot of our students travel in the fall to trade shows. We do a lot of co-op interviews in the fall. So it's a heavy externally facing time for our students. And so we brought him in to do crafting your sustainability story. So when you're in front of a potential employer or you're networking, how do you sell yourself to employers, or how are you trying to get the interviews you want? And I think we've all, myself included, been to career fairs or to networking events, and it can be a really daunting task to walk up to somebody, introduce yourself, and sell yourself, and make an ask of them. I'd love an interview, or I'd love to be connected with you and have a bigger conversation about this, particularly for students that have never done it. And so it was a really impactful session where he came in and kind of walked through, here's how you craft that story. Here's how you approach them. And we've all been there. So, you can totally do this. So the leadership program has been really super fun. Our next session comes up in October 15th, and we've got 4 panelists lined up that are going to come talk about the business case for sustainability, and diving in much more to how businesses as a whole tackle that, and from the top down what it looks like. So very excited to be a part of that this semester. I'm having a great time. The fall is fun.
Yeah, no, it definitely sounds like it. I was actually going to ask, in addition to obviously having these networking events, bringing on these great industry professionals, you have experience working with, say, brands like Apple and then Fisher-Price. How would you say that you bring those like real world experiences into the classroom, and what is it that you want your students to get out of that?
Beyond just the technical side of things. So, coursework, right? What we ask them to learn in a given semester, we're hoping that we are teaching these students how to be good human beings, and productive human beings for employers. So particularly, I like to treat my classrooms as if they were businesses. So I want you showing up on time. I want you turning in your assignments on time. I want you to be a really strong critical thinker, because I think those are all things that companies are really looking for in their employees. And we would be doing our students a disservice if we're not trying to push them to be exceptional at that. And so want them to have a good attitude every day, and come open-minded and thinking through all these things. So really trying to prep our students to be excellent employees as they are taking on internships, co-ops, and looking for full-time jobs.
Today's episode of the SNEED-CAST is brought to you by the SNEED-JET XL, our advanced, lightweight, portable handheld printer with a 4-hour battery life. It revolutionizes large-scale printing, accommodating print sizes from 0.1 to 4 inches in height. Designed for simplicity and versatility, it works on nearly 95% of surfaces thanks to our quick-drying SNEED-JET inks, ensuring clear, durable prints on both non-porous and porous materials. Beyond text, the SNEED-JET XL prints lot and date codes, alphanumeric text, logos, images, barcodes, counters, QR codes, and more in 300 dpi resolution. It offers 6 fast-drying ink colors, including black, red, yellow, blue, green, and invisible ink. With 4 print heads, you can print in single or multiple colors, meeting diverse printing needs with ease. Check it out today at sneedcoding.com.
Right. And then last conversation that we had, we touched on the Sonoco Institute. Are there any big milestones or any big developments that you guys have had since that conversation?
We've had some huge milestones. So actually in the past year, we hit 15 years of the Sonoco Institute. So we're now in our 16th year of operation.
Yes.
So we are, I know, yay, big celebration. We did a huge tailgate last fall to commemorate, brought in a lot of our good friends for that. I would say what we're looking to in the coming years is continued growth. We do a lot of, obviously, we're heavily involved in coursework and research, but also heavily involved with service work externally. So how we interface with industry companies. And a lot of that is through teaching as well. And so we do a bunch of industry seminars that are tailored to industry employees, company employees. And so excited that we are looking to grow those in the next few years and how we can be servicing, industry employees and companies. Continued education is really the word I'm looking for. How can we really make an impact in continued education? And so we've got a paperboard packaging seminar coming up in October, looking to add some additional seminars beyond just corrugated and paperboard packaging. Obviously, we still do all of our Intro to Flexo seminars, which are really popular. So continuing to grow our offerings as far as external seminars is a big thing for us. But also, we just landed we're really, really excited. We just had a company kind of come alongside us in a major, major way that's going to be able to allow us to do some upgrades to some of our lab facilities. SpecRite has been a very, very generous contributor to our program in terms of their software. So we integrate SpecRite's software. They're big in specification management. So specification management software into a lot of our undergraduate coursework, particularly our capstone program. We use them from specification management, but also LCA, because they now have LCA incorporated into their software. But they've been a big contributor to our program for the past few years with just generously donating their software. But they've also recently made a significant gift, financial gift to our program. And so we're very excited about what we're going to be able to do in terms of additional lab equipment, upgrades to our facilities, and really appreciative of them and the kind of continued collaboration there.
Yeah, no, you actually beat me to it. I was just about to ask you, like, if you guys had just updated the lab, if there was any new equipment in store. But glad to know that you guys are definitely headed in that direction.
So headed that direction. We did just, this is even before the SpecRite gift, but we just put in this brand new CO2 laser. I swear that thing could burn the building down. It is so high powered and so awesome. But a massive CO2 laser that allows us to kind of expand on some of our kind of range of materials and cutting technologies. We have a Zun flatbed cutting table as well, but this allows us to do rotary things. So we've got students engraving on cans, jars, bottles. Dr. Hurley, our good friend, is trying to engrave avocados, which I'm just like not excited about, and we'll go on record with that. He thinks he can laser etch the UPC codes on avocados, and that's very cool, but I don't want guacamole in my brand new laser, so we'll see how that goes. But we're excited about the laser and what our students are now able to do in terms of kind of prototyping. But we've got our eyes on a couple more really unique pieces of equipment that we're hoping to bring in the coming years. So stay tuned for more.
I was going to say, just from like a packaging perspective and from what we know about the industry, putting a UPC code on something that's organic and that could potentially deteriorate, or that you could like not bend but push in or scratch, I'm just thinking that like that's, from a traceability perspective, that just sounds like a big issue. But
we'll see, right? Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't know where that has gone,
right?
But it has, they were like, can we put avocados in here? And I was like, I don't love it. Burning up a bunch of avocados, guacamole, and avocado skin all up in the gears of this laser. Yeah. I'm not loving it. I'm down, but I'm not loving it. So we'll see. I don't know it hasn't come back up in a while, so
Okay.
I'm not sure. But I'm open.
Yeah, no, that's one of the things that we'll be keeping an eye on, and if anything, we'll bring you back on to talk about specifically just that.
Avocados. Yeah.
Okay, moving on though. What is new with the Brown Box Agency? Any new services? How are the students doing? Tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. We've got a dynamite team of 7 students this semester on the agency. And so, again, Brown Box Agency is our externally facing design service. So we've got exceptional students that are ready to help you create a package solution for your needs. So they can turn these really, really quickly. And this semester we have 7 really skilled students that are on our team helping us craft package solutions for startups, for companies, you name it, we're here to help. And so we've got 5 ongoing projects at the moment that they're actively doing structural and graphic design solutions for. I took over as creative director for the agency this semester, and then we also brought in a business director that kind of helps on the operations side, which has been awesome. Brennan Lytle's our business director, and he's been great to handle that side of things. So we make a great team, and we're having a great time with the students. So we've got some fun stuff coming that we're going to put out on social media channels to promote what they have created. So more to come there too.
Right. I was just about to ask, since these projects are ongoing, I'm assuming you can't touch too much on them, but were there any big projects or noteworthy projects from last semester?
Yes, and it actually wasn't a Brown Box project as much, but every now and then we will work with Clemson Athletics, which is really a fun partnership too. And they'll come to us kind of with some of their off-the-wall requests. And so this has been an ongoing project probably now for 3 semesters. It's just really grown. About 3 semesters ago, we created this massive, like 8-foot long, 5-foot tall, corrugated tiger. Stands on all 4 paws. And we made it for Clemson football for recruiting. So we printed it Clemson orange, has this very cool pattern on it. And then our university central marketing and communications team found out about it and loved it. So we ended up doing a unprinted version for them to take to our local, when I say local, Greenville, South Carolina's annual downtown art show. It's not really a show. It's bigger than that, but they shut down all of Main Street and downtown Greenville and do this major art weekend, and all these artists come. But Clemson has a big tent as a part of that where they showcase all of the STEAM programs at the university. And so they brought in this unprinted tiger and let everyone that was a part of the show paint on it and kind of create this really unique painted orange purple tiger that they ultimately put downtown on Main Street next to a Clemson orange Steinway piano, and it sat there for about 8 months. So it's a really popular, it kind of got a lot of eyes sitting there, and they loved it so much, and it got so much traction that we did another one for Clemson Senior Week, and the senior students that were graduating got to put photos on it and write notes, and it's kind of become this university thing, for lack of a better word, where people can contribute to the tiger and be a part of this. And so the most recent tiger we did for Senior Week last semester is going on display. It will sit on display in our brand new visitor center on campus, and so we're actively building a platform for that to sit on, where I think every year the plan is to do a new tiger for every Senior Week and let all the seniors contribute to this tiger and continue to update him and keep him on display. So that's been a fun project where where we started and where we've gone with it have been very different, but a unique way to kind of be a part of the university, the greater university kind of collaborative space. It's been fun.
Right. I was going to say, in just 3 short months, it sounds like you guys unintentionally just started a tradition.
Yeah.
But
it's exciting, but it's also like, whoa, we've got to do an 8-foot tiger every 6 months, which is super fun, but also, you know, sometimes you land into these things like, okay, we got to be ready. We're going to need another big tiger.
Oh my God. No, that does sound like fun. Talking a little bit more about packaging though, what are some packaging trends that you've seen starting to pop up with like mom and pop shops or startup businesses?
I think when we look at it from kind of our brown box lens, when companies come to us looking for a solution, obviously the hot thing is sustainability. Everyone wants their solutions to be as sustainable as possible. I think my favorite trend to kind of pop up is when someone comes in looking for a solution and they want to be what we like to call a disruptor, meaning they want to disrupt the market, be different, be innovative kind of in their space, which we've all seen some of these kind of in practice, right? My favorite examples of major disruptors include like the Method soap brand, kind of disrupting the soap aisle. If you look at Ollie vitamins, kind of disrupting the vitamin aisle. These companies kind of come in and really shaking things up and being dramatically different. That's my favorite kind of trend to work in. We've got one right now. I probably can't speak a ton about it, but we're working on a project with Brown Box and this company's in the automotive space, and they really want to be a disruptor there. And so getting to do really cool things like that is fun for our students, but also a really cool and exciting trend.
I was going to ask, are you guys starting to see more startup businesses coming to the Institute in terms of like them wanting research, prototyping, or design done?
Yes, to all of those, for sure. I think one of the biggest ones we're getting right now is more in our compostability studies. We launched some really exciting compostability facilities with some joint investment companies investing in compostability research. So we've got some really exciting facilities so we've got a lot of students doing research and compostable materials. And so we have a lot of companies coming to us asking for us to give them some information about their materials. Are they compostable? What does that look like? What's the soil impact once their materials have composted? So that has been one of our bigger kind of areas where companies are coming to us looking for research, looking for some data around what it is they're producing. So we're busy, I would say, in that area. And if companies are interested in engaging with us there, I would reach out to Dr. Andrew Hurley. He's been a big part of kicking off the research element there, just in materials, compostability, sustainability.
Right. And actually touching on sustainability, because I feel like we hear so much about it now in the industry where like you have all of these brands making the switch to more sustainable packaging. And what other ways aside from compostability are you guys preparing your students to tackle sustainable packaging?
You know, I think when you think about packaging, I think a lot of people have a really bad perception of packaging as far as sustainability goes, right? You can turn on the TV and you see the sea turtles and the straws and people are upset, and rightly so, and it should enrage you. But what we like to tell people is, you know, incoming freshmen, if that bothers you, you should come here and be a part of the solution. Our students are actively working to be part of the packaging sustainability solution. So learning through undergraduate and graduate coursework, materials, how to make responsible choices. It's not a one track solution, right? It's going to involve everybody. So it's going to involve regulatory, it's going to involve infrastructure, it's going to involve, companies investing in this, and everyone is going to have to be a part of the solution, consumers too, right? So we are just committed to doing our part, and prepping students to stand up and make these choices and be a part of that solution. So for us, that looks like undergraduate and graduate coursework. Obviously, we've got our leadership program. We partner with industry companies to try and advance these goals forward. So we're excited about it. About a year and 2 years ago, our program hired Dr. James Sternberg, who is our professor of package sustainability. And so he's launched a lab that is developing unique materials. And so we're committed and we're excited, and our students are driven in that.
I was just going to ask, so obviously it sounds like students are passionate about helping to improve environmental conditions through sustainable packaging, but would you say that that's the area that they're most passionate about in terms of like sustainable packaging, or coming into the program to pursue sustainable packaging, if that makes sense?
It's interesting because I feel like when I came through the program years ago, sustainability just really wasn't a conversation the way it is now. Our students come in already interested in that. It's just different for them than it was for us when I feel like I came through the program 10 plus years ago. So I think inherently our students are aware, and they are curious about it, and they want to be a part of this solution. I would say we integrate sustainability across all of our courses. So we have courses specifically in sustainability, but we also look at sustainable design. We look at sustainable materials. We look at sustainable distribution. We look at sustainable food practices. So we try and incorporate, sustainability across each of our kind of core areas of what we're doing in our research facilities, our teaching, so that it's not just, you can be a designer or you can be someone in sustainability. You can be a sustainable designer. You can be a sustainable material scientist. And so trying to kind of incorporate that across the board so that all of our students are exposed to it in a very important way. And they're thinking about it, not just in one class, but all of their classes. Right. But they are wired different coming in, that this is something they're interested in and they want to be a part of. It's kind of, we get more questions about it. It's awesome. It's a good thing.
Talking about them being wired differently, what are some challenges you currently think that they're encountering as they're facing like design issues or as they're facing material sourcing issues?
That's a good question. I think it's just an overall holistic thing, right? I think companies are wanting to make changes. They've set timelines, they've set targets, and everyone is trying to meet these timelines and targets. And we're all on the same page, and there's not one perfect solution, right? And so I think our students are navigating changes, regulatory changes, material limitations, cost, what is the cost to implement all these things? So they're juggling all of these elements while trying to push through more sustainable solutions. The good news is everyone's doing it. And so we're all in this together, and everyone seems to be open about that. It seems to be like we're all championing this together and trying to figure this out together. It doesn't feel like people are hiding these things as much, So that's a very, I think, exciting kind of take on all of this, that everyone is in this together, and being more open about what they're doing and how they're doing it so that we can all do this.
Right. Well, we can't thank you enough for all of the great insights, Haley. But before we go, what is some advice that you would give for any students looking to pursue a career in packaging? And then, even if they're not students, what are some great resources available for small businesses, pop-up shops, anything that you can think of?
Any companies that need possible, testing services, give Clemson Packaging a check. We've got, bunch of different material testing capabilities. We have dynamics testing capabilities, ISA testing capabilities, package design testing capabilities. So we would love to help you with your package solution, and are fully prepared to do that. It's great for our program. It's great for our students because usually we have student interns that are a major part of this, so it gives them some awesome experience. Students interested in a career in packaging, or if you're just now hearing about packaging science is a dynamic major, a dynamic and a dynamite major for you guys to check out. We have a near 100% job placement rating with really competitive starting salaries. You can do everything from creative to scientific to sales to business, you name it. It's a very broad field to join, and so we would love to have you as one of our students. We're growing our program right now. We've grown our facilities, we've grown our faculty, and we are excited to grow our student body. So come tour Clemson. Let us know when you're here. We'd love to give you a tour of our specific facilities, and we're excited that you're interested.
Once again, thank you so much, Haley, and thanks for making the time to come back on this SNEED-CAST.
Thank you so much for having me.